Hey guys, this is Henry from Fishers High School once again. As in all my videos, I'm teaching you guys math. In the previous video, what we dealt with was just the theory of numbers. So in this video, what we're going to be covering is addition and subtraction. And we may even get into multiplication and division, but we'll probably save that for another time, to be honest. Let me just write an example of what we would do for addition. 5 plus 3 is equal to 8. What does that mean? So, by now you understand what 5, 3, and 8 mean as numbers, because you saw the previous video, right? So, we are going to describe this now using a scenario. So we have bouncy balls, alright? We like bouncy balls. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. I have 5 bouncy balls, alright? Just sitting around. And then I got some more bouncy balls, and I'm just going to put them onto the pile now. 1, 2, 3. And we're going to just shade in the original bouncy balls. So that we had 5 originally. I got 3 more. So the question is, how many do we have now? Well, you can count it. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8. 8 bouncy balls. So you get an idea where these numbers are coming from now. But let's talk about what these things mean, okay? This is the addition symbol. It means that we're adding on something. We're getting more. We're giving more. So that we, in this scenario where we had 5 bouncy balls originally, we are putting in 3 more bouncy balls. So that this is describing the action that's occurring. We're getting more of a quantity. And then the 3, though, sitting next to the plus specifies how much of that quantity we're getting. Equal sign means how many we have as a whole. Where that you have a 5 and a 3, but right now those are separate things. But if you're thinking of them as a whole, that's what this equal sign is all about. Well, we have 8. Because you can count it, like we said, 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8. So that the 5, the process of putting 3 more into 5 results in having 8 balls altogether. And you can do that for another one. Just 4 plus 2 is equal to 6. So you have 4 bouncy balls. So what are we doing with the plus 2? What does that mean? Well, again, we're putting in 2 more, right? Just to confuse you guys, the new ones are the ones that are shaded. So, we had 4, we're throwing in 2 more. How many do we have now? We have 6 bouncy balls altogether. So that's it, really, for basic addition. What I want to say to you now, though, is that it's probably worth your time to memorize the sums or how to add some of the lower numbers. So from 0 to 10 plus 0 to 10. That if you take those, that when you're adding those, you're probably going to have those memorized. Because you are going to add things like 47 plus 94. Yeah. And I don't expect you to memorize those, and none of your teachers expect you to memorize that. But what you can do then is write it in a fancy way, okay? 47 plus 94 is equal to. So you're seeing that I'm using some of those key phrases, plus and is equal to. So that this equal to sign here is the same as writing this. This plus sign is the same as writing this. So why did we write it this way? let me just show you something. So you can actually add, you know how we were talking about groups, right? Within our original video? So because we can think of these as groups, we can actually add our lower level groups and then add our higher level groups after that. So 7 plus 4 is 11, okay? Now we're not going to actually write 11 here because remember that we have groups. So because we actually have 11, we know that that's one group and one individual. So because this place is just individual, we'll write the 1. So what do we do with the 1 in the group? Well, you move the group over here, so you have 1. So now you're actually adding 1 plus 4 plus 9 in the big group. So that's going to be 14. Well, there's no other numbers here. So you just bring down your 1. So that's going to be equal to 141. Now, this was made easier for me because I already knew what 7 plus 4 was. But if you have to do it on your fingers, this problem is going to take that much longer is the issue. So if you do have it memorized, you'll be able to add larger numbers more quickly. That's just something to be aware of. Now, let's talk about subtraction and negative numbers, shall we? I'll just write it out again, and then we'll talk about how it happened. 9 minus 5 is equal to 4. So note that we still have our equal sign, but we have something new here. So I'll just draw out the problem again. So, we have, we'll say 9 apples now, alright? But my friend Bob came over and ate 5 of them. How many do we have now? We have 4 now. So, how does this equate into math? Well, this is the original quantity that we had. We had 9 apples, right? Minus means taking away. Remember how in addition we were throwing in more things or we were getting more? Well, minus means that we're taking away. We're reducing. So your final number should be smaller than your original. And again, this is the quantifier, meaning that that's saying how many we're taking away. We're taking away 5. So that means then, now you count how many you have. 1, 2, 3, 4. That is how you do subtraction. Here's something interesting though. No, we'll cover it in our algebra section, I think. Oh, okay, I'll just write it here, and it'll be something for you guys to think about. 4 plus 5 equals 9. And we also know that 9 minus 5 equals 4. Interesting. So, now we're covering some things pretty fast. But, like I said, the links below are pretty good. And okay, so now we're going to do some more subtraction, okay? Whoa, what's that sign? It looks like a minus. Kind of is, actually. Let's think about this. We have 5 apples. And let's say Bob is coming here and he's really hungry. So not only is he just going to eat all my apples, but he's actually hungry for more. So we're measuring how hungry he is, okay? So he wants to eat 9 apples. So he's going to eat through everything we have. But he's still hungry. So we're asking, how hungry is he now? So this is kind of interesting here, okay? So that you have your original number still, your 5, right? You have your minus indicating that you're taking away something. But you're taking away more than you have. Well, how does that work? Well, it's more of a theoretical than actually, because you can't take away more than you don't have. But remember how we're describing it as his hunger level, rather than how many he is actually eating. So we know that he is, but because it's measured by hunger, we know that he's going to eat those 5. But the question is, how hungry is he still? So that if it was a positive number that we got, and he only had a hunger of 2, but there were 5 apples, that means that there's 3 left in reserve. But it's going to take, in this case, 4 more apples for him to be not hungry. Which means that we are lacking 4 apples. That's what the negative really means, is that it's the absence of something. Almost like 0, except more extreme. That you actually, it's indicating that something is missing where it should be normally. So that comes up with subtraction, where if your first number is smaller than your second number, you're going to get a negative number here. Something to consider. Alright, next thing we want to talk about is multiplication. Okay? 5 times 4 is equal to 20. Well, that doesn't look very comforting, does it? Well, what we're doing now is we're utilizing groups again, because groups comes up a lot in math. We have bouncy balls, or apples, or what have you. We have 5 in any case. We have 5, so that makes sense, right? Well, we're multiplying it by 4, so what does that mean? Well, it means we're taking an entire group. We're having 4 of that group. So that this times 4 means that you have 4 of whatever this is as one group. So you see we have 4 groups, right? So that makes sense there. And this times means that you're taking however many in the group, and then you're having it distributed across 4 of them, of these groups. So that you're going to have 5 in a group, and you're having 4 groups. So the equal sign means how many do you have now? Similar to addition, subtraction, where the question is how many do you have now? So we're counting this as single things. So if you think about it, we have still those in each group. So you have 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10, 11, 12, 13. I'm doing something wrong, sorry. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, we're missing something, yeah, 10, 11, 12, 13, 14, 15, 16, 17, 18, 19, 20. Look, 20, again. So that the 4 is indicating that you're treating this as a group. That you have 4 of the group. Does that make sense? I hope that makes sense. So just like we had addition, and then that was followed by subtraction, The next thing we're going to get into is division. 20 divided by 4 is equal to 5. So we have 20 or something. How am I going to draw this funny thing? That's a lot to draw, just saying. Okay, we drew 20 circles. So we have 20, right? That makes sense. Well, where is this 4 coming in? Well, this division again is meaning an action. So what this means, instead of treating this as one group, well, we are treating this as one group, but we're doing, instead of having multiple of a group, is we're breaking it up into 4 pieces is what this means.